Hello and welcome to Hilary Black Live. Thank you for tuning in. I am Hilary Black and I would like to introduce to you my fabulous band, B-Funk and the Superstars. And we are going to start a show with a wonderful tune from this fabulous trio.
And stars above that shine so bright, the mystery of their fading light that shines upon our caravan. Sleep upon my shoulder as we creep across the sand, so I may keep this memory of our caravan. And this is so exciting, you know, and you're so inviting, resting in my arms as I thrill to the magic charms of you. Beside me here beneath the blue, my dream of love is coming true. Within a desert caravan, Mike now.
Thank you, B-Funk and the Superstars. That was most marvelous. So I've been involved in the distribution of medical cannabis in Vancouver for almost 7 years now. And during that time, some very interesting issues have crossed my plate. And we're going to take the opportunity of having a chance to do a pot TV show here to explore some of those issues. So in upcoming shows, which will be aired, sometimes live, sometimes pre-recorded, Monday nights at 7 o'clock, we're going to be exploring different kinds of health issues and lifestyle issues. We're going to be talking about upcoming court battles and different challenges that are happening. I'm going to introduce you to some of my heroes. In one of the shows coming up either next week or the week after, we're going to be talking about prostitution in Vancouver and some of the issues around prostitution and some of the progress that we hope to see in Vancouver around prostitution. Today, we're going to be talking to renowned cannabinologist Russo, and also we're going to be talking to Renee Boje, who I'm sure many of you are familiar with. For those of you that have never had the honor and pleasure of meeting Renee Boje before, it is my honor to introduce to you the pioneer of the marijuana refugee movement out of the States, Renee Boje. And tell us who this mini-me here is.
Mini-me, this is Shiva's son, my beautiful son. He's going to be 2 next month.
Wow, it's been 2 years already.
Yeah.
Shiva is telling us that there's a very cute froggy inside this cup that Renee is drinking her tea out of.
That's his totem lately, frogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Renee, tell us about, for those that don't know, how you have ended up in Canada. What caused you to come up here?
Sure. I was working for Todd McCormick, whom you know very much, very well, and he suffers from cancer, and he was conducting marijuana research and writing a book called How to Grow Medical Marijuana.
Yeah.
And I was hired as his illustrator. And this was all legal within the frame of the law in California because Proposition 215 had passed, allowing access to medical marijuana and people to use medical marijuana. And the federal law basically ignored the state law and came in and arrested everyone, including myself, and charged us all with big charges: conspiracy, carrying a 10-year mandatory minimum, cultivation, trafficking, and possession of marijuana. And basically, I was a tool. They wanted to use me to testify against Todd and also Peter McWilliams, who was suffering from cancer and AIDS. And he was Todd's publisher. And they really wanted to lock these two men up and set an example because they were one of the first people to really do this kind of research. And they were really being targeted. And so they placed a lot of pressure on me, tried to get me to testify against Todd and Peter, and I refused. My charges were dropped. I was then followed around for probably a year by DEA agents who would come to my home. I would see a white van outside my home with a big satellite dish on it. It was very obvious. They weren't trying to hide the fact that they were following me around.
They were trying to intimidate you.
They were trying to intimidate me. And then I got a call from my lawyer who said, okay, there's a 99% chance the DEA is going to reinstate your charges. Since you're not willing to cooperate and testify against these two men, you risk going to prison for 10 years, and I don't feel I can save you. So if you were my daughter, I would tell you to leave the country.
Oh, girl, that's so scary.
And it was a very scary time. It was a very surreal time. But I really weighed my situation, and I thought, jail for 10-year mandatory minimum in a prison where women are raped often and tortured. There's 70% of the guards watching men in female prisons are men. As you might be aware, Amnesty International and the UN are condemning U.S. prisons. I was strip searched 15 times in the 3 days that I was in prison.
15 times?
15 times. I was watched by male guards while I was strip searched. They made lewd gestures at me that you don't even want to know about, threatened me. I didn't want to go and go back to the dark ages and be in a dungeon and, be subjected to torture. And I thought, okay, 10 years of that or freedom in the rest of the world. And I chose freedom. And I came to Canada, and I'm really, really happy that I did.
I am too.
Yeah.
How many years ago was it that you first came here?
I've been here for 5 years now, so that was May of '98.
May of '98. Wow. Yep. Tell us about where your application for refugee status and what your whole legal situation is now in Canada.
Now, my case has been before the Minister of Justice for about 3 years. The Supreme Court of Canada, I'm dealing with extradition charges right now, so the United States placed a fast-track extradition order on me. So that put my refugee claim on hold. So now I have to deal with the extradition matter. And so now we're at the Minister of Justice stage because the Supreme Court of British Columbia ordered me surrendered. They had to do that. It was, at that level, there was no chance I could have won. That's just sort of the way it works with extradition. So now I've appealed it, and the Minister of Justice is deciding. And I'm kind of like a hot potato. They don't want to deal with me, and so
passing you around.
They're passing me around, and that's okay because it prolongs my freedom here, and I'm able to live here in peace with my son and my husband and live a normal life. And so it's to my favor that the wheels of justice move very slowly in Canada.
Having